everybody, welcome back. Comic review time, where I pop into frame for some reason, just because it's fun to do. And I talk about the comics I've started reading, usually an issue or two at a time, and just kind of give you spoilers and all that stuff, talk about the whole book, show some of the pages, all that kind of thing, and just kind of geek out about the new books I'm reading. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'm new to comics. These videos I'm new to making. They'll improve as we go, and you guys can please give me feedback and suggestions, whatever you want to do. I'm loving collecting comics again, and this is just a byproduct of doing it. You get to share the journey with me. But today we're here to review issue number 1 of The Unstoppable Wasp. Yeah. So this is a pretty good book. I don't know that I'm thoroughly hooked on it yet, but I'm going to give it a few more issues. There's some things about this book I did really love, though, and some things I really appreciate. This is definitely a spotlight for women, for young girls particularly. I think it's going to be a really good read. It's very inspirational in that fact, without ever really getting heavy-handed. So I quite dig it. So let's just jump right into this book and see what we think. It's been a few days since I've read this, so I kind of have to refresh my memory. So we start off with what is it? She is a Van Dyne? She's a Pym. Crap. Now I can't think of what her name was. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? I want to say Natalie, but I was saying Natalie and another thing, and who knows if that's who it is. You know, maybe I should have looked at this before. Anyways, we'll just call her Wasp for now until I find it. But she's hanging out with Miss Marvel, and they're in a bakery, Pakistani bakery, and she wants to try all these things. She's really enthusiastic and positive. Miss Marvel's going to help her go get her citizenship at, the immigration office, I suppose. So she ends up buying a ton of sweets and everything, and just being super excited about it. And now she makes all the friends in the world in the immigration waiting room because she's giving out all the Pakistani bakery goods and all that. And then she goes to her caseworker and has to kind of tell the history of who she is and why she doesn't have documentation. Now, basically, it turns out she's from the Red Room, which I'm learning, it's like where Black Widow and a lot of other characters were from. Kind of a Russian science thing or an assassin thing. But for Wasp, she was learning all the science. And she got to read the science journals and books for every single, Marvel super scientist, good or bad. And is a huge, uber fan, a geek fan of a bunch of the different scientist characters. And, so she learned about the Pym particles and all that, and she figured out a way to create her own versions, which allowed her to escape the Red Room and go off on her own. And, she found out her dad is apparently dead. I believe her mom is dead, all that kind of stuff. But she's still, just super positive, and she's getting the, she's basically getting the caseworker all teary-eyed, and she wants to help her when there's a big boom, big ruckus going on outside. So, of course, she runs to investigate with Miss Marvel, and it turns out, is it Black Canary? No, it's not Black Canary. That's DC. I'm totally blanking, and I have the damn action figure over there. I went and bought it. Okay, I have no idea, guys, why I'm having trouble. It's Nadia, by the way. It was close to Natalie, and damn it, the one from S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, Mockingbird. Mockingbird. Okay, there we go. God, stupid. Sorry, again, I'm loving this. So they go out, and Mockingbird is fighting a giant robot, and Nadia is, of course, seeing all the weakness and weak points in the joints and all that. And Mockingbird's having a good time. They're joking about how she's just the one from S.H.I.E.L.D. that beats things with sticks, and she's fighting and everything, and she gets knocked away, and that's when Miss Marvel and the Wasp have to kind of hurry up and join in. Miss Marvel catches Mockingbird, sends her back to it. Wasp, of course, shrinks down and gets inside of the robot, and she's antagonizing the villain and all that stuff. And basically sinks it to her suit, so as she moves, it controls the robot. And she starts dancing. And it was something pretty damn funny, too. What was she dancing to? Dancing Machine. Yeah, she was doing Dancing Machine because she's making the machine dance, which I thought was pretty damn funny, to be honest. And it freaks out the villain. They finally defeat the villain and everything. Basically, they Empire Strike Back the legs, which is a pretty interesting joke they make later about why you say an Empire Trike Back. Because Nadia doesn't know anything about our pop culture, which makes her kind of charming, too. It's another one of those fun things. So they all hook up. And they go for smoothies, and they start talking. And Nadia is talking about Mockingbird. And when she finds out Mockingbird's real name, Barbara Morse, she's like, oh my God, wait, scientist Barbara Morse? And she just goes on about how, and this is where the book gets really good. She goes on about how much she loves her science and read about this and how brilliant she is, and she's one of the famous ones. And Barbara is all freaking out because she's like no one talks about that anymore. They just think of me as the one that runs around and beats up things with sticks, and she starts crying and stuff. She just has this very emotional breakdown about it, and she's just inspired by this girl who's inspired by her. and they kind of become really good friends very, very quickly, and they're going to hang out and everything. And they talk about how, the S.H.I.E.L.D. Top scientist list doesn't ever change, and it's mostly men and all this, but no one's really looking for new scientists because everybody kind of knows everybody. It's gotten cliquish. And so they kind of decide that, that she's going to change that up, Nadia Pym and the Wasp. And is the Wasp, obviously, and they're kind of going through their science lab, and they're just geeking out over each other. They're kind of finding a really good friendship love. And Nadia starts putting together a bulletin board kind of scrapbooky thing, and look, she's gonna start Girl or Genius in Action Research Lab. So I think she's gonna kind of pull together a team of her own. So that's really the book. And what's really cool too, though, is that they, I missed this originally. I heard somebody talk about it and went back and looked, but they actually interview some actual prominent women scientists in here. And I think that's a neat little thing to read, especially like if you're a young girl and you need to be inspired and all that. But yeah, the next issue is called New Recruits. So it looks like she is going to try and put together a team. So that should be pretty interesting. Like I said, it's a little bit lighter, a little bit friendlier in tone. So it took a little bit more for me to get into it. But I think as it goes on in a few issues, I think I'm really going to end up loving this. It really, like I said, it made me love Mockingbird to the point where it's like, okay, I gotta go buy that Marvel Legends figure while I can still find it. And that character was cool on S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV show, but this made me like Mockingbird, and I want to learn more about Mockingbird. So if nothing else, I give it thumbs up for that. So that's my thoughts on issue number 1 of The Unstoppable Wasp. Now I want to know what you guys are thinking. Have you read it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What you love, what you don't love about it, all that kind of stuff. Geek out with me down in the comments. That's what we like to do here. And other than that, you can click that thumbs up button. Give me the thumb of encouragement because I do love to be encouraged. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, read some more books. I will see you guys later.